I said, I don't like mine. I don't care if I have to knock you out and get walked out of here. Not that it would have happened, you know,
Yeah.
but you just get to that point where you just don't care. You literally don't care. Where would I be tomorrow? You know, if I was forced out of this place and I had to do something, you know, if I had to make the choice, if I had to jump, you know, you're on the edge of the cliff. What do? Do you stay there and be safe, or do you jump? You know, I've jumped my whole life. Now I feel like I got a rope tied onto me. You know,
Family,
rope,
kids.
rope being family and kids. You know, and a semi-stable work condition. You know, this is what the average American looks at and says, "That's what I want." You know, but you always want what you don't have. Once you have it, I'm more than this. You know.
I think I would go to my teachers and tell my teachers that I need the extra help, and if they please help me or have somebody give me that, help me to get the knowledge that I needed for my education. I didn't get that at home. My parents drank, so it was just, we were on our own.
Yeah, I got a few. I wish I would have finished college. I wish I would have finished and got a degree in art or graphic design or whatever it is I was going to do, and been doing that instead of working in a factory.
No, but life's experience in general. Things that happen to you make you who you are. And the things that have happened to me in the work experience that I've had makes me who I am. You know, tomorrow my car breaks down on the side of Highway 41, I'm not going to have to call a tow truck. I'm going to know exactly what to do. And it's not necessarily just about your car. You know, I'm saying anything in life. It's about compromising. It's about doing what you have to do. It's about working through the tough times and knowing that, hey, there's still a possibility tomorrow is going to suck 10 times worse than what today did, you know. And then there's other days on the positive side that you can look at it and go, hey, next week's bonus check week, and you know, just did 3 side jobs plus I got my paycheck. I got an extra $2 grand this week to spend, you know, or to bank or whatever, you know. I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have that inside of me if things were any different, and maybe I would, but I'm not going to take that chance.
There's a lot of things I'd like to change, like probably more education, and I would like to change some things, but I'm not sure what it would change that would allow me to apply for manufacturing jobs and continue on.
So you would still follow in the manufacturing?
I would follow manufacturing.
The way it affects our job and my co-workers is it takes jobs away from us. And what I mean by that is if they're outsourcing, they're eliminating people because they don't need the people to do those jobs. And that way it hurts us.
I think they are, but right now I don't think it's affecting us yet. I mean, they may in the future if they decide to send more stuff to, like, what did the guy say yesterday? Regardless, China? Is that where they do a bunch of stuff? They decide to send more stuff there because it's cheaper to build, or if he's going to actually do what he says he's going to do and keep everything here. So I don't think it's affecting us right now, but it may in the future.
I am in the business aspect of different points of my career. You know, Mercury's not the only thing that I do. We've covered that. If I got a guy working for me that isn't pulling his weight, that isn't doing his job, and somebody comes to me from a different company and says, hey, you have this huge workload, I know you're stressed for time, I can bid that job for you. And if I look at that and go, okay, I bid, you know, $3,500 on that job, you can do it for $2,700. I walk out of there with $800 in my pocket for doing nothing but handing you the workload. Absolutely, you know, it sucks. I mean, it sucks for everybody. It's eventually going to take your job, my job, but I believe that if people would work up to their full potential, if everybody did put that 100% in, there's no reason for outsourcing, because at that point everything lies on upper management as far as having equipment, having the right education to tell somebody, hey, here's how you do your job. There'd be no reason for a union. There'd be no reason for management. You know, you show up, you got one guy that tells the whole plant what to do. I mean, that's fantasy. We all know that's not going to happen, but in theory, it could happen. So yeah, outsourcing, it's inevitable. You know, until the average American person, me being one of them, realizes that unless you're going to go and put 110% in, there's going to be somebody that's a hell of a lot less fortunate than you are, that's going to take that job for half the price, and he's going to love it too for the first 3 years until he gets sick of it. Then they're going to take it from him and give it to the guy in Guam that'll do it for 10 cents on the dollar until he's going to get sick of it, and he has enough money to buy him 3 chickens and a goat. Then he's going to be pissed, and he's going to start neglecting his job responsibilities, his duties, and pretty soon they're going to outsource that job. It is for working class level all the way up to upper management. We're not there for fun. We've already determined that. We're there because of the paycheck. And you can have pride in your work all you want, but there's still going to be 70% of the time when you're going to show up to work and say, yeah, I'll do what I have to do, and I'll put my 100% of quality into this engine. I'm not going to destroy the thing, but I'm not going to bust my ass and push 90 out tonight when they say 72 is all I got to do. That's where upper management grabs the strings and says, hey, these guys over here will do that 90.
There is ever more production that happens in China. There's ever more outsourcing of technological services to India. There is non-stop movement of both development and manufacturing overseas, both to serve the American market and to serve their emerging markets. In my opinion, there's 2 things to remember here. One is that a rising ocean lifts all boats. I don't mean to make a reference to global warming. What I'm talking about is that the growth in economic strength is good for everyone. Already we find in places like New Delhi in India that it's too expensive to do the work there, and they outsource from New Delhi to Bangalore, and from Bangalore to Chennai, and always somewhere cheaper. It's a good thing to grow the economic strength of any given region, because then the differences mean it doesn't make sense to go somewhere else, and we can build and increase the GDP of any given group. However, saying that, there's also a pushback against outsourcing that's starting now, and I think that's a good thing, because companies have betrayed their customers. They've simply sent work to service desks and manufacturers, not caring about quality, and no company can survive when the quality goes down. The complaints have gone down. I think the reason for that is the same as when my mother used to give me cabbage juice for my stomach pain. It was bright green. I can remember the smell of it, and I would numb my tongue with an ice cube to keep from tasting it. It's the most horrible thing in the world. But I wouldn't complain about my stomach pains. So my mother cured the symptoms. The same is true with the service desk in India that is not really about service, but is about preventing customers from calling in because they don't want to face the hassle. I helped someone with their computer recently. They couldn't get the printer cartridge to work. They gave up after 2 hours on the phone with Dell support. Is that really solving the problem? I don't think so. There is a gap in the marketplace now to provide good service. And that's not just simply throwing bodies at it. And whether it's an American company, an Indian company, a Chinese company, it doesn't matter. But that innovation, who does that, is the company most likely to succeed.
The company has been outsourcing quite a bit, and it affects a lot of people's lives in manufacturing, taking away jobs from overseas. I think it's too easy for companies to do that, and the government should realize it's happening there and keep jobs in the U.S.